There is an indescribable bond between an alumni of Emory and Henry College and their former school. For my guest here today is a bond that has had a big impact on his life. Not only did Zach James graduate from ENH in 2014, but he is currently working in the athletic training room at the college. James is the assistant athletic director now, and after a decorated career as a soccer player on the turf at Fred Self Stadium, he now stands on the sidelines as his team takes the pitch. His schedule is about as busy as anybody's, so for him to be on the Allen set with me today is a privilege. Zach, man, I appreciate you being here.
Yeah, no problem. Glad to be here.
Yeah, so I talk about that bond that an alumni from here has with the college. I want you to talk about that bond for you and what Emory and Henry means to you.
Right now, Emory and Henry is a lot to me. It's not just a place. It's more so just it's family, and I know it sounds cliche, but I have people that I can go to here just with anything, and I walk away, and when I leave, I tell them I love them, and we've known each other maybe 4 years, and it's just my community, I guess. They build me up, and I can pour back into them, and it's just this awesome relationship, more so than just a place.
And yeah, you went here for 4 years,
Yeah.
obviously an athletic training major.
Yep.
So you're the assistant athletic training major now. Did you ever see yourself working at Emory and Henry?
I don't think so. I think when I graduated, I thought my time was up, and I didn't think I would ever get the opportunity to, really come back and work. I thought maybe if I got a different degree or something, I might look at it, but no, I didn't really expect to come back and work here.
And now, if you could take me and the audience with me today through the day-to-day routine of Zach James.
Kind of depends on the morning, but a lot of mornings get up at 4 in the morning, get ready, drive into work, do pre-practice stuff. So, we do get the water ready, even though that's not our only role. We do our pre-treatments, whether it be taping, stretching, E-stim, ultrasound, whatever it might be. Go through practice. Done by 7:38 in the morning with a single practice, and then a lot of days I go straight into the classroom and I teach an advanced strength and conditioning course. Go back in, do more treatments for just a variety of teams, whether it be football, basketball, nothing that's assigned to me. A lot of times at lunch it's doing paperwork and catching up on injury reports and that sort of thing. Then our break is over, and then we go into another practice if I have another sport. So I just had women's soccer and I had women's basketball, and so when they were both going, had 2 practices during the day, and just helping out whenever another AT is overloaded or whatever it might be. And yeah, a lot of times leave after dark, so come in early, leave late, and but it's good. I like being on my feet and just running around all the time and doing something and helping people. It's kind of my purpose, and if I was sitting at home, I'd kind of feel lazy. So
Yeah.
It's more of a lifestyle than just a job.
Well, being that busy all the time and waking up that early and leaving that late has got to have you exhausted, walking around like a zombie or something like that.
Yeah.
How do you spice things up in the workplace? How do you go about not just going through the motions?
Well, one, coffee helps. I drink it a lot. I call the athletic training room like my home. Like, I could honestly put a bed in there. So I have a lot of my own stuff in there. I have my guitar in there. If I get the chance, I'll sit down and play that. Lots of music. Music is kind of my energy. And so when I'm doing paperwork, I'm rocking out to whatever it might be. Just a lot of fun and joking around with athletes. It's not, going through the motions, it's good, but really catching up with each athlete and what's going on with their life always keeps it, kind of different. And then a lot of times if we're bored or whatever, we get games going. We're like throwing a ball around the athletic training room. I'm like juggling, or take me back to the good old days with soccer. Stuff like that, I guess, is what kind of gives me energy and gets me through the day and keeps it new instead of just going through and doing the same old thing.
Yeah, and what I want to know now is if no one gets hurt, your job is non-existent, and you're obviously excited about doing your job. I can tell it just sitting next to you now.
Yeah.
So how do you balance that excitement when someone gets hurt on the field or on the court or something with the sympathy to an athlete's injury?
Yeah, it's definitely tough because I don't sit there and I'm like, come on, something happened. It's more of just an anxiously waiting because it will. I guess I get excited because I know I'm going to be able to help someone, and so it's less excitement about the injury actually occurring and more so just an opportunity for me to step in. But it is a balance because people ask me that all the time, like, so you get excited when people get hurt. And it's like, yes and no. I get to step in and help them figure it out in a tough spot. I don't wish bad on anyone, but when it does happen, then I get to be there and, be ready to help and empathize with them and walk them through it because I've seen it 1,000 times. So.
And now, like I mentioned before, you played soccer here at Emory and Henry College.
Yeah.
And this year, the soccer team had a lot of success,
Oh, yeah.
at the tie against the Virginia Wesleyan Marlins, which
Yeah.
was a big thing for the team.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of success, perhaps more so than when you were on the turf with the Wasp.
Definitely.
So is that bittersweet? How do you handle looking at a team that might be doing better than when you were here?
It is bittersweet because, initial response, I want to be jealous. I'm like, man, I wish I could play on a team that did this well. And I don't know. It's jealous. I get jealous, but I get excited for them because when I left, the seniors this year were freshmen or sophomores when I graduated. And so, when I passed it off, I just told them that I wanted the program to be better when I left it, and people said they felt that way, and I can see that the people I left it with continued that on. And I'm a big picture person, and so seeing the progression and seeing the success, it makes me excited that I actually got to, be in some of the, steps before it, even if it wasn't quantifiable. I think that it translated over and made somewhat of a difference.
It's a very honorable answer. And two of your teammates, Kenny Sturd and Jared Erickson, are actually now part of the coaching staff.
Oh, yeah.
So what is your involvement in, the coaching process? Do you get in their ear a little bit? Do you put your 2 cents in?
I don't try and sway them necessarily, but we definitely talk just about the athletes, how everyone's doing, who we think we should play, maybe who needs to work harder, who doesn't. And then I guess a little bit of reminiscing on how we did it and how to apply some of those things that we saw where we were at and applying that and helping others, or helping the team kind of see where we were, that they are progressing, but there's still like changes that need to be, made. I definitely don't push anything, but I definitely like discussing just how the team's doing, what sort of play they're doing, and that sort of thing.
Yeah, you got to know your role. I understand. I
Yeah.
understand. And my last question, real quick for you. You obviously love this college so much. You're working at this college now. Is this the final destination for Zach James?
I don't think so. Just because, like I started with, Emory and Henry isn't a place to me. It's community with people, and they're really building me up, and I see them sending me off somewhere to make a difference because right now I'm lucky to, I had a lot of people pour into me, and I feel like I get to, pour back for a little bit, but I think it's going to be a launching pad to some other destination, whether another country or city or town, and then I get to take Emory and Henry somewhere else and get to share it.
Absolutely. Well, I thank you very much for taking the time out of your really busy schedule.
Yeah, no problem.
And I thank you for taking care of our athletes, including myself in the training room. So
Not a problem.
Thank you. That is Zach James, Assistant Athletic Trainer for Emory and Henry College. And I'm Kevin Ansberger. That was the sports interview. I will now send it over to the sports update.